From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson. The success of transfers into the Oklahoma State football program is becoming well known not only around here, but around the nation. John Helsley joins us on the phone. And John, it obviously started a couple years ago with Tyler Patman coming in, and Josh Furman last year became another success story. Now it sort of seems like OSU has gained a reputation. They've got several guys that have transferred in. What do you sort of make of this trend, and what's driving it in Stillwater?
Well, Patman definitely was the impetus that kind of got this started, Jenny. You know, at the time he came from Kansas. Nobody really knew what to expect, but he had a great impact on that team in 2013. And then Josh Furman comes last year, and it's a similar situation for him. He jumps in and becomes a starter and gets drafted. So I think players take notice, and they start to wonder, why is that working for those guys there? And they look into it, and it comes down to this. It's opportunity, okay? If you're willing to come in and practice hard and become a member of the program and the family that they sell, you'll actually get an opportunity to play. And it sounds simple, but it's a lot of places it's not that simple. These guys are embraced and welcomed by the other players on the team, and it's just worked out spectacularly, really, for the players and the team so far.
Well, you know, John, I rewind on when Patman showed up, and he was largely an unknown. I mean, they obviously had seen him when they played Kansas, but, you know, was he going to play? They didn't really know. Now, obviously, with the Dallas Cowboys, fighting with Des Bryant in practice, I mean, obviously he's made his way into the NFL, but I mean, that was kind of a surprise arrival. They really didn't know what they were going to get out of him. This has kind of turned on an unexpected transfer that turned out to be a great one for the Cowboys.
It really has, and you're exactly right. Nobody knew what to expect. You know, the thought at the time was, well, if Kansas doesn't want this guy, why would OSU want this guy? Well, it went deeper than that, obviously, and you're right. He's in the NFL. Furman's in the NFL right now. That's another selling point, okay? Hey, I can go play. I get an opportunity, a real opportunity, and who knows, I may end up in the NFL. And so that's worked out really well for them. You know, and then Michael Hunter is the latest, a guy who started 2 years at Indiana. He's never been to a bowl game. He sees the success of these other two guys, looks to move into OSU, and I'm going to tell you what, he's very much in the mix to play a lot at corner. You know, last year they didn't have much depth at corner. They do this year. He's very much in the mix, and will have a major role for this team. So sounds like another success.
Hey, John, lastly, the guys that we've most talked about and now continue to see come into the program, largely defensive guys. Is there a reason for that, or is that just sort of the way it's happened to go and we might start to see more offensive guys, or has that sort of the fact that Patman, Furman were both defensive guys, does that lend itself to this being sort of a defensive trend?
I think there's a lot of things at play. One of the things is, and there's several things that have to sort of be in line. One, your scholarship numbers have to be in line. Really, you have to have a one-year scholarship sitting there as well, so that it plays correctly towards the 85 total. And then, you know, as I talked to Glenn Spencer about this the other day, he mentioned too that it's fit them extremely well because they are defensive, quote, skill players, okay, guys that play in the secondary. If they don't work out as starters, they can play on special teams. They're very versatile type of players, and probably, you know, players that are easier to evaluate on their end as well.
Well, you mentioned Michael Hunter. It sounds like he's going to have an impact this year, and who knows who that next transfer success story could be for Oklahoma State. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.